Specificity makes or breaks college essays, and in this video I'm going to show you how to write like an expert about your experiences. It is absolutely critical that you include concrete, specific details that answer the question, so what, throughout your essays. For example, if you write, "This experience taught me the value of communication," that is fundamentally worthless, at least in the college admissions context. It's vague and reads like vapid AI output you couldn't even be bothered to prompt carefully. The admissions officer is looking for quantitative metrics and explicit examples that demonstrate results. How did you make your community a better place exactly? How did the lessons you learned change you? Did they apply to other areas of your life or personality? Did you take on new, related challenges or responsibilities? Did you share them with others? When I read something like, "These lessons have shown me that connecting with others is what's truly important," I don't care. Worst case, I think you're lazy or unable to self-reflect critically. Really think about what in this example could make me care. What lessons? Does this tell me more about who you are? Do I now understand how you changed based on those lessons or how they impacted the world around you? No. An essay with this revelation would literally be stronger if the author did nothing but cut it. Here's how to fix vagueness. Compare that example on connection to something like, "I taught poetry to 50 underprivileged middle schoolers in my city because I believe emotional connection with mentors engenders passion for personal development and feel fulfilled uplifting my community." Can you see how much more we learn about the author? And that's just level 1. This could still be improved by discussing the results. Maybe 80% of those students reported an increased desire to attend school after the program. Or it could tie into the future. "I aim to continue sharing the power of connection through your school's specific whatever mentorship program." Why did the author choose poetry specifically? Do they have some emotional connection or history with poetry? Maybe they can introduce a poetry award they won, or share how they strategically selected poetry as a subject. Is this starting to make sense? I wanted to make a refresher video on this because I've spoken about this before, but this is something that almost every undergrad application can improve on. I see this in early drafts of Ivy League essays, and I see this with students who have tremendous accomplishments, but bury their activities and revelations under vague, meaningless generalizations that could apply to literally any applicant in any situation. Here are 2 foolproof ways to check your essays for vague generalizations, and they're my go-to methods when I review students' work. First, ask yourself at the end of each sentence, "So what?" As much as you can, the answer should be in the essay. Ideally at the end of the sentence. Sometimes you must wait until the end of the passage or the paragraph or whatever to have an answer, so this is not a hard rule, but more often than not, if you would have to answer "so what" orally to someone reviewing your essay because it's not in the text, your essay isn't specific enough. It's very easy to write an essay that doesn't include details. At that point, you might as well use AI, because the point of your college essay is to convince the admissions team that you will be an asset to campus. And one of the most important ways they assess your candidacy is by looking for a proven track record of success. That means comparing specific details, your self-reflection, your specific goals for the future to other candidates. Let me put it this way. If you got into Harvard, would you tell an employer in an interview that "I received a bachelor's degree from a 4-year university"? Or would you say "I majored in chemistry at Harvard"? The latter, right? If you write your college essays like the former, it sounds like you either don't have accomplishments or stories, so you're making it up, or you don't have the ability to articulate and reflect on what you've done and where you're going, which is equally disastrous if you're applying to top schools. So I really like the "so what" approach because it forces you to focus on every word you include in your essay. It must add value and relate to your application overall, or you cut it. And usually this is an easy fix. You find a few sections with empty generalizations and replace those with what you did, why it mattered, and how it might impact your future. Next, as you edit your essays, if you ever find a sentence, especially in a conclusion, that's like, "This blank taught me blank," it's probably a bad sentence. "This experience showed me, these activities taught me, through my time in blank, I learned the value of blank." These are lazy structures that 99 times out of 100 don't add anything. It could usually be cut and pasted in any applicant's essay discussing anything and not be entirely out of place. The pronoun has to refer back to something, right? Replace this or these with the thing you're talking about and show the lesson. Don't just tell me it taught you the value of honesty. Great. Who cares? Why does that matter? Can you express that through a short story that makes an emotional impact? Or connect the idea to a broader application theme, like wanting to be a psychologist? You don't get points for learning lessons or caring about things. That's like the baseline of being a human. The admissions team is looking for concrete examples that they could use to advocate on your behalf for your admission. And I would have a very difficult time convincing someone that this student should get into Yale because they learned that honesty is important. If you're ready to get started writing your essay, grab my free college essay introduction guide from the link in the description, and otherwise, I'll see you next time.